Hello guys, hope all of you are good, and today we want to talk about something a little bit serious. In Excel, the known word is called spreadsheet, so that is what we are interested to do today in our class. So to begin, let me just share my screen so that we can go together. Here is the screen I have and everything to do with spreadsheet. So spreadsheet, without wasting any time, spreadsheet in simple terms are just mathematical and statistical analytical related tasks, which most of the time they tend to stimulate real life models or either statistical or financial model. Like we have the balance sheet, you can talk about break-even analysis, we can talk about something to do with budgeting, something to do with the loss statement and forecasting. So within the spreadsheet here, in the industry of Microsoft Excel, when I began, I said that spreadsheet is just another way to name Microsoft Excel. So in above, we are just going to talk about Microsoft Excel, which is just spreadsheets. So what are some of the terms that are being used in spreadsheet? We have workbook, and we want to know what does this workbook deal with. So in simple terms, workbook is just a single file within the Excel spreadsheet. So when it comes to the time now we will be doing practical part in the spreadsheet, we will know everything that is entailed in Excel spreadsheet. So a workbook is just a single file within an Excel spreadsheet. So it is always an save file in Microsoft Excel with a given generic name. So if I can just opt out and tell you something about Excel, I hope you will understand me much better than explaining without using Excel by itself. So I'll be illustrating and giving some of my notes in the screen. Let's just wait a bit. So like this, this is an Excel workbook. This is the way it is. So the way you look at this is an Excel workbook. So under Excel workbook, that is why we are talking about workbook. All these that I have highlighted here are or is called workbook. So that is something to do with workbook. So what about worksheet? What do we know called about if we come back to our document? We were talking about workbook and I've illustrated something to do with workbook. Then number second here is worksheet. What does it mean by the term worksheet? So you find that this is just a working area within a workbook. Working area within a workbook, and that is what is called workbook. Worksheet. So worksheet is a working area within the workbook. So for illustration purpose, you will find that this is a workbook, but the working area is the worksheet. You can see here we have sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 5, this is the working area within the workbook. So if I open sheet 2, you will find some of the information that I have placed before and the data that I have placed before, which is just within the workbook. So that is what is called worksheet. So another term, you can see this is the working area within the workbook. It consists of a grid of rows, columns. The rows are identified by numbers while the column with alphabetical letters. So generally Microsoft Excel comes with a maximum of 3 worksheet. However, users have the ability to add and remove any of the worksheet. So if you come here, you'll find that it will be very easy to add a worksheet within a workbook. So you can just click add here, then you come up with a new worksheet. The other term that we were interested to look at today as the reference is the term cell. What does we mean by the term cell? So you find that most of the time you'll find that a cell is just an intersection between a row and a column. So for illustration purpose, you'll find that a cell is this. You'll find that this is a cell. This is a row, a column. This is a row. So this cell is within the column of H and a row of 4. So it is supposed to be named as H4. You can just type here H4. So this is what is called a cell, the intersection between a column and a row. The other term that we are interested to look at is range. What does it mean by the term range? So in simple terms, this is just a group of cells selected together. For illustration purposes, range a group of cells highlighted or collected together. So if I just decide to highlight this up to here, this is the range, meaning my interest is just from column L to row 18. That is what is referred to as a range. So let's just continue so that we cannot be cut up with time. What does the other term we need? So we have worksheet management. How do you manage a worksheet and how do you manage a workbook? So as earlier described, the worksheet provides the actual working area within the workbook, and I have shown you that. It is thus follows that the user will make use of the time in the workbook access. The following properties can be performed to a worksheet. So to begin, selection of a worksheet. So this is the procedure to select a worksheet. To select a single worksheet, simply click the tab name. However, for more than one sheet, click the first one. For the additional one, hold down the Control key and click any of the additional sheet at random. Then to deselect them, repeat the procedure with the Control key, hold down, and for conservative group, use the word Shift key instead. So how do we select a worksheet? You just come for illustration purpose. This place is the workbook. Worksheet is down here. For you to add, and for that reason, here it is very simple to add a worksheet. And I have already described that if you want to add a worksheet, you just come, click add, you have added another one. You will continue that process as many as workbooks or worksheet you need. So if you come back to regression analysis, which is being shown here, how do I want to delete this regression analysis, or how can I delete sheet 1? I will just click on it. Then we will have the sum of the option: insert, delete, rename. You can do any of the following that is shown here: hide, view, protect, and that is all. So that is a way of selection of a worksheet. Then how can you create a worksheet? It is more or less the same. To create a new worksheet, from the insert menu, choose worksheet. You can just come here, or you can just come to file here, then we have new. This one you are going to create a new workbook page. For that reason, we wanted to add a worksheet, which is I've already shown. Then how will we delete a worksheet here? I've shown that if you want to delete a worksheet, just click on the worksheet, then we have insert, delete, rename, move to or copy, view code, protect sheet, tab color, and that is all you're supposed to be doing. And all that I'm illustrating are within the notes here. We are in creation and deletion of worksheet. Then we move to next page. Renaming of worksheet. How can we rename worksheet? How can we save workbooks? For you to rename worksheet, you just come to worksheet, and I've said if you want to rename this, you just click it. Then you have option insert, delete, rename. So you want to rename this as cooking fat distribution, then you just press rename. So let me just rename it by clicking cooking fat distribution. So that is what I'm supposed. You will see it is already renamed, and that is how we can rename our worksheet. How do we save? For us to save a workbook now, this is the workbook. All this is a workbook. How do we save? You can come here, then we see this option you want to do for them, but for saving purposes, come to file, then we have option of save. You want to save as you want to save, then you choose where do you want to save it. Do you want to save it? Let's say I want to save, then it has already saved because it is written here ready. Come here, just press save. You can choose where you want to save it. Do you want to insert workbook, or do you want to protect the workbook? You can choose all that. Then the other thing we are supposed to be looking at for today's lesson, we want to look how do we move worksheet. So for that reason, how to move a worksheet, we'll just select sheets of interest from the edit menu. Click the move and copy sheet command. A good example, or for illustration purpose, this is the working area. Let's say that I want to use this regression analysis as a way of moving worksheet. Are you seeing all this? All these are worksheets. But how do we save, or how do we move worksheet? We just click on it, then we have move or copy. As simple as such for the lesson. Another thing we were interested to be looking at, copying worksheet. The same thing, we will either move or copy. Why do you want to copy it? Why do you want to move it? Then you do that. That is the first task we were to discuss today. Another task of interest that you were supposed to be doing today is something to do with formulas. That is the next thing you're supposed to be doing. Formulas. This is what we are now doing. So, here under worksheet or workbook, we have several formulas to do. You can either use addition in cells, stroke range, we have subtraction in cells, we have division in cells, multiplication in cells, we have power in cells. If that is not enough, we have multiplication in cells, which I've already said. We have average function, maximum function, minimum function, we have count function, median function, mode function, then we have standard deviation function. Then if that is not enough, we have if statement, which is just in the next page. We have all these formulas which are majorly used in Excel. Then we have the if function. The if function here is just this is just an Excel formula used just to evaluate the contents of a single cell compared to the contents of this cell against a given formula or statement, so to return a true value. Yeah, so that is most time the reason why we use a if statement, and most of the time it is just it tested conditionals if conditions are positive. Under which scenario do we use if? When you say an alternative false statement or value or formula if tested in a condition is negative. A good example where to use if, when somebody just said that to determine the age status of student, create a column called age status. That's only if you now go to your workbook. Then, and using if statement, compare their ages against the value of 18. So that is where we use if statement. Under that scenario, how will you do it? You just say that if any of a given cell, either even B3, is either greater than or equal to 18, it is either an adult or a minor. That is when we use if statement. We'll come back to this later. So not to stop at that point, let's start with the addition of cell range. I have some of the documents here that I can give all the details to continue with this. So let me just open a new, let me just open this book shortcut so that it will help us for illustration purpose, based on addition, based on subtraction, based on everything that can be done in Excel. So this is the information we have at hand. These are the information we have at hand. We have names of students, we have admission number, we have maths, English, Kiswahili, chemistry, physics, biology, history, business, and all this. So we can just copy all this information so that we can use it for illustration purpose. Just click, copy, then we add new sheet, then we paste. You can just come here and paste everything here. Just come and paste. So we are going to use this document for illustration purpose. So under this place, we are going to start with this. This is the formulas we are supposed to be using. We are supposed to start with addition in cells. So you just come to your book, which is book 1, then this is the document. So we can just give a title addition, then we can have the second title we were supposed to be using. If it is not addition, we are supposed to be using something to do with subtraction. Just write sub. Then next, you can just give it enough space by clicking at this tab to give it enough space. Hope everyone is fine and everyone is getting what I'm talking about for today. And if you are floating, not getting anything, you will just tell me that I am floating, I'm not getting anything. Then you come here to sub. You can't just write sub to mean subtraction. If that is not enough, we are supposed to be using division. This is just for illustration purpose, and these are just very minor things to do. You just give it enough space. Then what we are supposed to use, you can just write multi to symbolize multiplication. Then we have power. So to start with addition, let's say that we want to add what these students got in mathematics and English, and we are going to do the same to subtraction, mathematics and English, or you can do to any of the following subjects, but we are just going to look at mathematics and English. So for us to add mathematics and English, you are just going to come here to formulas. Then we have this auto sum. Just click the arrow downward. Then we have more functions. For more function, you can search for it. There is minute, there is sum, there is rank average, ABC average, that is all. So you can use that. Coming to formula, coming to auto sum, then you come for more function, then you search for sum in this bar. So just write sum or addition. Just go. Are you seeing we have something looking in blue or highlighted in blue called sum? You can use it, or you can just come to the cell. Inside the cell, you put the cursor here, then you press is equal sign, then you write sum, then you press sum. Here it is. You double click it, then you want to say what do you want to add. I want to add mathematics and English for each and every student. So you place your cursor here and you drag it. So you have an option between math and English, so that you are supposed to be adding, which is supposed to be giving us 198 if I'm not wrong. Then you press enter. If you press enter, you are going to have the sum of mathematics and English in it. You just click the arrow downward and drag it downward. You are going to get the sum of all students mathematics and English. If you want to get the subtraction, you just come to the cell, you double click the cell, then you press equal to sign, then you write subtraction. If it is you can't find it here, we have several options to do this. You can come here to formulas, come auto sum, then more functions, then you come to subs. You just press your sub, then you go. If it can't come, it will force you just to come here, press equal sign, then write subtraction in full, subtraction. Then you just press shift, then you say what do you want to subtract. So you have A, which is C2. We have column C and row 2. You want to subtract mathematics and English for all students, or getting the difference, then you press enter. The name as an issue. That is why we are being told name. Subtracts the contents in the cell A1 and A2. Subtraction. Let's leave about this for now. So for division, you want to get the division between mathematics and English. For division purpose, or to make work easier for subtraction. Getting subtraction will be more difficult in formulas. So you can come, there are so many methods you can use to get subtraction. You just press this equal sign, then you, after pressing this equal sign, you don't use the table. You say you want to subtract mathematics. You want to subtract mathematics is equal sign. Just write this. We have this cell. Are you seeing this cell? So this cell we have C2. So you're supposed to subtract C2 and D2. So you just press minus. We have D2. Then you press enter. it is 0, and it is true that if you take 99 minus 99 you get 0. Then you place it here, you drag all this, you will get all the information needed. Some are negative. For division purpose, you can use the same. You can just use this equal sign. Then we want to get the division mathematics and English, which is C2 divided by, which is division sign is the stroke, divided by D2. So if you get to divide this, you are supposed to get 1 automatically in cell M2. So you just press enter, you are supposed to get 1, and you continue with the same process. Multiplication, we use the steric. We want to multiply what is there in mathematics and English. Just press equal sign, then you put mathematics, then you just press shift, press here equal sign, then you just come here, press cell C2, then divide by, you multiply by cell D2, which is here. So you're supposed to get the multiplication total. Press enter. That is the multiplication total. So we have power. How can you get the power of mathematics? Power is just like squaring that, what is in that column. Like we have this column of C. Let's find the square in column of C. So for that reason, we'll just press is equal sign. Then after that, you're supposed to use the arrow, which is shift 6. You're supposed to be squaring what is there in here. Then you press shift 6, then we just press 2, so that we get the square root of everything that is in this column. So the square root of 99, square root of 100, like the square root of 100, you're supposed to get something to do with 10,000. So just press enter, you get that. Then you drag downward. So like this, you see it is 10,000, meaning that we have done something good. So how can you get something average? Average. For you to get average, which I am sure is there in the formula functions, you just press you just put your cursor at the where you want to get the average. So this is cell P2. So we are supposed to come to formulas, auto sum, then we have average. Just press average. Then which range do you want to give? You want to give range from mathematics to business. Then after you giving a range, just press enter. That you have your average, meaning that person have 92.37%, either percentage or the way it is. For that reason, you have your average. So how will we get maximum function? Maximum function, which is the maximum number in this subject. How will you know that a student has scored higher in the following subject? So for that, you just press your cursor, or you just press here at cell Q2, then you come to formulas, then you get maximum. Maximum is here. Then you give range, just place it from mathematics to business. Then you press enter. After pressing enter, you get that the student scored 99, which is the highest in all the subject to be. Like that is Grace. Grace scored 99, which is the highest. So for other students, you just come, press here, cursor here, then you drag, automatically others will come. You'll find that this person scored 100 in one of the subject, the same, another one 100 in one of the subject, and that is how we get maximum. How do we get minimum? For minimum, you put your cursor to the cell R2, then you come to insert function. Minimum means the lowest score, so you come to formulas, auto sum, then you have minimum. Just press minimum, then you come here. The range was from mathematics to business, then you press enter. Someone can ask, why is it that when we are giving range, we are giving average, power, multiplication, divisions, and why are we just using from mathematics to business? We can only give range based on subject, not admission. These are admission number, and since when can you give an admission number a range? So you come here to, you drag downwards and get the others. That is good work. Then we are supposed to be using count function, medium, mod, and I think by that we will be done with the formula. We have mod, can come here, we write here mod. How do we get mod in the following subjects? Come press your cursor here. You can just go to equal sign, then you write mod. Then we have mod here. Double click it. Then which mod do you want to get? You want to get mod from mathematics to business. That is a range. Press enter. Then the mod here is 99. For simplicity, mod is the number that appears several times. So for grace, you'll find that the number that appears more, or the number that appears more, is 99. And it is true. You see here in mathematics, she scored 99, English 99, Kiswahili 99, chemistry 99, and that is all. So that is good to do with mod. How will we talk about medium? I'm trying to do fast so that we cannot be caught up with time. Medium. So for median, you can press your cursor at cell T2, then you press is equal sign, then you write median, which is here. Double click it, then you give the range from mathematics to business. Press enter. That is good work. Then you press up there. These are the median. What are we remaining with us as far as formulas is concerned? We remain with something to do with standard deviation. How do we get standard deviation from a group standard deviation? You can write STDV. Then how can we get standard deviation? You just come here, press equal sign, or you can just come to formulas, then you continue here. But for us saving time, come here, then write standard deviation. Unaona standard dev, so you just double click it, then you come to the range mathematics to business, then press enter. Then you have your standard deviation as 11.461. That is good work. As formulas is concerned, I think for now we are through with formulas, and our next class will do something to do with if statement. We are going to look at something to do with if statement. We have something to do with if and, we have if or. Then we will be looking something to do with relative self-referencing, where you know that in self-referencing we have relative self-referencing, absolute self-referencing, we have mixed self-referencing. So for today we are going to tackle those simple basic, so that you are going to go and familiarize yourself with what we have done today, and to make work easier for you for tomorrow's class, or on Monday, since tomorrow will be a Sunday. So just thank you for your time, and I hope everyone have enjoyed. So if you have a question, we'll just ask, and if you don't have a question, we will end at that point. And I was forgetting something here. Let me say something to do with if, and if, or, just for now, but you'll get most of the details in future. If you want to give an illustration based on if and if or, how will we differentiate that? Because you can say that if and if or are almost the same thing. A good example that if you say that if KCA is offering scholarship to sponsor students to pursue graduate diploma in bachelor or diploma in ICT. However, to qualify for this scholarship, you find that a student must meet some of the following conditions by the donors. So you'll find that KCA will need a student to score mathematics or anything greater than 80. In English, something greater than 85, and in physics, something greater than 70. In biology, something greater than 65, and the student must be either greater than or equal to 25 years of age. So I am going to use this example to describe what is meant by if and if or. If these are the requirements by KCA University, if you are using if and, it means a student must get all the requirements needed. Failure to attain even one, the student will not qualify to pursue graduate diploma course in ICT. But in a scenario where you are using if or, if a student qualify in one, a good example, if a student get mathematics 80 and failed to be in the age bracket of more than 25 years, the student will still qualify to go. So that is the difference between if and if or. In if and, failure to attain one means you are going to be disqualified. But if in if or, failure to attain one will not interfere with your qualification to do diploma in ICT. And that is what I have for today, and I think we will have more in the next class. Thank you for today's class. May all of you have a nice weekend. Thank you.